Nicole isn't playing games anymore. The 90-day alum has made it clear that enough is enough, and if Mahmoud can't see things her way, then she'll turn around and walk away from their marriage for good.
I'm sorry, I just so tired, is why.
You look tired. You look exhausted, actually.
You're a liar, Mahmoud. Tell the truth. Yeah, tell the truth.
5 years and several explosive fights later, what finally caused a rift in the couple's happily ever after? Was it Nicole's strong sense of self, or Mahmoud's recent trip to the LAPD? Yep, you heard us, but we'll dive into that a little later. TLC's casting directors deserve a raise. Those guys work day and night to get us the best made-for-television castmates in the history of reality television. And just when you think, that's it, they'll never be able to top the cast in this season, wouldn't you know it, they top it next year. 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, the spin-off series that focuses on the American half of the couple traveling around the globe to see how their love interests live, might just be the best thing since sliced bread.
I'd like a sandwich, but I don't feel like eating 2 whole loaves of bread.
Top.
Season 4 was particularly memorable because of one couple, an American clothing reseller and part-time food delivery driver, Nicole, and her Egyptian husband, Mahmoud, who'd worked at a fabric store for nearly a decade. That's actually where they met, believe it or not. Nicole decided to take a spiritual journey around the world and somehow found herself in Mahmoud's store. The two allegedly locked eyes and knew this was it.
Feels so good.
We're only saying allegedly here because for a couple that claims they're in love, they sure didn't act like it. It was like they were poles apart, and this might have been the only time in history that opposites didn't attract. All of their blowouts were centered around the same thing: Mahmoud's traditional values and Nicole's resistance to change.
I know it's not easy.
Yeah. I think you should try to wear it and see how it feels, actually.
I don't have one.
You can borrow this one.
Maybe next time I get one.
Okay.
Fans were sure that they'd be the first couple to call it quits, but to everyone's surprise, they were at the tell-all and proclaiming their undying love for one another. Hey, stranger things have happened, right?
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, yeah, maybe they haven't. Here's something you probably didn't know. Nicole actually tried to leave Mahmoud before the cameras even started rolling for the couple's TV debut. That's right, after being enamored by the Egyptian's big brown eyes and saying yes to his proposal, Nicole went back to the States and had a moment of realization. Mahmoud had made it clear that while he loved Nicole, he wanted a wife who was more traditional and someone who could mesh with his culture. It sounded like a sweet deal at the moment, and Nicole said yes both to the proposal and converting to Islam.
But like, before even we married, I talked about the clothes and this. Wear cover your body, you said yes. You wear a hijab, you said yes, right?
However, after coming back to the US and realizing that Mahmoud's heart lay in Egypt, she wondered if she could ever leave her home behind for him, even with those big brown eyes. After seesawing between I love Mahmoud and I love my life here for a minute, she ultimately decided to give her Egyptian husband one more chance to prove he loved her. That's how season 4 started out. Now, what fans found ironic was that despite telling Mahmoud this was his one and only chance to prove he could let Nicole live the sort of life she'd always wanted, he kept failing and she kept giving him more chances. After the 10th last chance, fans stopped keeping count.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
You can see why many people had bet they'd break up before the Other Way tell-all. Well, not only did they renew their vows and restate their undying love for one another, but Mahmoud revealed a plot twist in their tale. Yup, he'd filed for his visa to the United States and was ready to start a new life there with Nicole. In May 2023, Mahmoud touched down at LAX and Nicole was there with a camera crew to welcome him to his new home. Skeptics still thought they'd break up eventually. Well, after Mahmoud posted a picture of the couple on their 5th wedding anniversary, everyone, even the pessimists, was sure Nicole and Mahmoud were the real deal. And here's the part where we say, psych!
No, no, no!
Fans had more or less forgotten about the pair when the trail for 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 8 first aired. The season premiered in March 2024, and Mahmoud had already professed his love for Nicole on their 5th wedding anniversary in February. Well, apparently that was either a front or things went downhill just a month later. The season started with the couple fighting like they're known to do. However, this time it's not about Nicole following Mahmoud's way of life, but the other way around.
This is my home. You are so crazy, Mahmoud.
Okay, next time be naked.
This isn't Egypt.
Just
Like,
don't show
I
it or
can wear
not.
whatever
Like,
I want in my own
I'm not
house.
like, okay, so you can.
To Mahmoud's credit, this was a big ask for someone who was so deeply rooted in his culture and had such a close-knit family back home. Still, he realized that Nicole wasn't playing games, packed his bags, and followed her to Los Angeles. That's right. After 4 years of living in Egypt and following Mahmoud's customs and traditions, Nicole thought he'd repay the favor when he moved with her to LA. Doesn't take a genius to tell you this might be a potent recipe for some serious conflict. Mahmoud looked like he'd tried for a hot minute before throwing his hands in the air and saying it wasn't working out. Nicole, on the other hand, had just moved back home after 4 years in Egypt.
I love you.
Come here, don't be shy.
I'm not shy, I'm just like tired, like.
Mahmoud's in America. I can do whatever I want to him.
Okay, but what exactly does Mahmoud have a problem with? Your guess would be as good as Nicole's. The guy once told her he didn't like her making new connections in Egypt, while being in constant communication with a girl from China. He also had a problem with everything she wore, from the way she did her hair to her tight clothes. Give the girl a break, she's back home and catching up on everything she missed. Mahmoud, though sometimes sympathetic, wanted the couple to pack their bags again and move back to Egypt. Beside the fact that he couldn't adjust to American lifestyle himself, recent episodes have shown he also has a problem with Nicole refusing to live like they were still in Egypt. Make it make sense!
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Here's the breakdown. The couple was having one of their many fights that ended with Mahmoud throwing a hissy fit again and refusing to meet Nicole's friends for dinner. Why, you ask? Yep, you guessed it. He didn't approve of Nicole's modest dress and claimed her back was too exposed. Nicole, however, has had enough and decided to meet her friends anyways, who later insisted on meeting Mahmoud regardless. The meeting went about as well as you would expect.
I think they're both clashing at the moment.
Get out of my house. Go. Get the out like you want to be a traitor. Go.
Talk about awkward. When Nicole calls him out in front of her friends, Mahmoud goes nuts.
And he had a...
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
He's having none of it, and we see him packing his bags and storming off. But where? That remains a mystery for now. However, it seems like Nicole's reached her boiling point. She's finally had it with Mahmoud and his controlling ways. Look, it would have been one thing to communicate, but Mahmoud flat out refused to compromise. Fans have noted that Mahmoud's behavior is a teeny bit hypocritical given Nicole tried her hardest to adopt her husband's way of life by wearing the hijab and even tried to pray for Mahmoud's sake. That still wasn't enough for the Egyptian, and he claimed that the only way he'd accept her was if she left her American lifestyle behind for good. He was already married to her when he suddenly realized he wanted someone who was more traditional. Sure, Mahmoud.
You sit on a throne of lies.
After moving back home and realizing everything she'd missed out on over the last 4 years, Nicole's ready to let Mahmoud walk away and head back home, if that's what he really wants. She's made it clear that love can't conquer all, and it certainly can't conquer a man who's always whining and complaining. But that's not all that's going on between the two. Recent events could be the final nail in the coffin for the pair.
What I was trying to say, and maybe I didn't use the right words, was that marriage is like a coffin.
Nicole's apparent willingness to let Mahmoud return to the land of the pharaohs will only have been more justified following shocking recent events. Allegedly, in February 2024, one of their most recent fights turned physical, and Nicole called the cops on Mahmoud. That's right, reports suggest that he ended up in custody.
That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast!
Although we don't know what went down quite yet, Nicole posted on her Instagram story calling for an end to violence against women in Muslim families. She also removed all photos of Mahmoud from her Instagram feed. Surely this must have been the final straw for the controversial couple? Well, maybe not. Reports now show that pics of Mahmoud have recently reappeared on Nicole's Instagram after she initially deleted them. This has sparked speculation among fans that the relationship might not be as dead as we all thought.
You're not as vile as I thought you were.
So after years of culture clashes, epic fights, jealousy, controlling behavior, inappropriate texting, not to mention an alleged arrest for a physical altercation, there still may be a chance. After everything, it's a miracle that there is even the slightest hint the couple are still together. And if the couple have really reunited, the big question is, why? Most fans agree that this relationship is long past its expiration date, but maybe the combustible pair are simply addicted to the drama and toxicity. It remains to be seen if Nicole has finally put her foot down, or has given Mahmoud his final chance in this never-ending, toxic love story.
I will wait for 5 minutes. If you not come, will you first?
I don't give a whatever
Okay,
you want to do.
bye.
Just go.
This might just be the end of their relationship. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you think Nicole and Mahmoud's relationship is toxic, then take a look at Jasmine and Gino's crazy antics in this next video you need to watch.